Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Powerful Stuff. It's your girl, Mare, and guys, we have finally fucking done it. After 2.5 years, I have given myself permission to miss a week of recording of Powerful Stuff. Y'all, I have been doing this when I was married, when I was celebrating my festival wedding, when I was pregnant, the week I gave birth, during postpartum. But finally, the last few weeks, I have given myself permission to miss a week. I've decided in this season of postpartum, I will still be consistent, but I will be moving to a bi-weekly schedule for Powerful Stuff so I can continue to give you the best musings, meditations, cheeky self-development you didn't know you needed, but at a sustainable rate for yours truly. And I am super proud of that. I feel like consistency, like above all else, like I just wanted to serve the people, to keep giving those nuggets of wisdom each week. And so this is my way of doing it moving forward. But I'm really proud that we were able to get 150 plus episodes since the inception of Powerful Stuff, give it some legs, and I'm ready to see what the next iteration has in store. And with that note, the theme for this Powerful Stuff episode is permission. Because guys, if we don't have permission, we are emotionally constipated. Sometimes we are so hard on ourselves. And when we are so hard on ourselves, we create emotional blockages, thus the spiritual constipation. And actually, the spiritual X-lax, if you will, is the permission that we take and we let those bowel movements of self-loathing just flow out of our system. And isn't that powerful stuff? That is powerful stuff. And it's a topic that comes up all the fucking time for my own life and for my clients. And I want to give you guys a few personal examples of how permission manifests. And first and foremost, it's like, why is permission so hard to give to ourselves? It's because oftentimes we're wanting to hold on to that sneaky little belief that we don't deserve something, that we are not enough. And guess what? Giving ourselves permission sends the signal, oh, wait, I am enough. And I do deserve this thing. And I do deserve to have compassion with myself. And I do deserve to take it easy. And I do deserve XYZ or what have you. What will you? And, it's like we give so many other people in our life permission or grace, and we are always hard pressed to do that to ourselves because we oftentimes have this hard ass helicopter parent internally that wants the best for us, bless their heart, always blessing their heart, and they do it in a way that's not productive, and they do it in a way that crushes us, crushes our soul, or creates resistance. And then we have this paralysis where we are kicking ourselves while we are down, and the weight of that gravity to get up from that floor when we've been kicking ourselves when we are down is immense. And so, I've gotten to continue to experience this postpartum. My joy is giving myself permission, the constant journey. And, as I say this, I hear these ambulance alarms going off on Main Street. I wonder if you guys can hear that too. It's like, did someone say permission? We are the permission patrol here to grant you permission. But all of that's to say, postpartum, I've had to give myself permission. Like when we, invested in postpartum care, which is such a, thing that I'm so grateful for. And, instead of just shitting on the gift that I and my husband decided to give ourselves postpartum, it's like giving myself permission to rest. I deserve to rest. I give myself permission to, change my mind while we were thinking about how many hours we want nanny coverage as I figure out, I'm going back to work somewhat. I'm taking clients sometimes, taking them not other times. I'm working on my, retreats and workshops, but I give myself permission to change my mind. I give myself permission to try it out 1 week with a certain number of hours with a nanny and decide that I want more or less, right? Because I'm new in this postpartum journey and I don't know how that's going to change or shift. And so like I've been having to remind myself or give myself permission for that. Or on a day that, let's say we do get a nanny and I go um, work from a cafe, like on some of my larger business goals. And I'm kind of having like postpartum or mom brain. Like I've had to remind myself and give myself permission. Like it's okay if I can't have a lot of output right now. It's okay. I give myself permission to just let that be what it is. And last week, I went to Summit at Sea, which is this incredible experience on a cruise ship, on the Virgin Atlantic cruise ship, where you're meeting all these visionaries from all over the world. There's all these cool talks on parenting, AI, longevity, any interest that strikes your fancy. There's a talk about it, and like DJs and parties and whatever. And I gave myself permission to go and like be like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, pump while I'm there to maintain my supply. My baby's going to be in good hands with my husband, and I give myself permission to have fun and to reemerge in the postpartum world. And I'm so grateful to be able to have, um, the resources and the support from my husband to do this as I would do for him. But anyways, I got a cold after that, and I was like riding a high from Summit, so excited to be there. And I come back to LA and I can't work at all because I am so sick. I even went to go get like a little IV boost last week to give myself some extra fluids and nutrients. And I had to give myself permission to rest and give myself permission, like, even though I went to Summit and I was on vacation in a way, like I have to give myself permission to just allow myself to recover this week. And I see it all the time with my clients too. Like, they say like, I shouldn't be doing this, or I should have gotten over this sooner, or I shouldn't have made this into a big deal. And, when we talk about like, what if the tables were turned, would you ever tell, your kid not to make it into such a big deal? Or would you ever tell a friend that you're holding space for not to make it in such a big deal? They're like, no, of course not. And it's like, okay, well then what is keeping you from giving yourself that same permission? And I literally can count on, I'm like on two hands, you know, multiple clients I've had this permission chat with in the last few weeks. It comes up all the time because we are so much harder on ourselves than we are on other people. And it's actually the ultimate form of enoughness when we are able to give ourselves this permission, because we are sending the message, I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to have like perfect output to deserve to rest, or to allow myself to process, or to deserve to feel all these different emotions. And when we actually give ourselves permission, a few things happen. Number one, the emotion actually passes through us sooner, right? Because it's not being suppressed or like lodged deep within our system. So that's number one. Feel it to heal it, as I like to say that Edith Eger, who wrote The Choice, says. And number two, it signals that enoughness, like I know I'm enough to be able to give myself this permission to act imperfectly, to rest, whatever it might be. And that actually is the biggest form of self-worth, of like, I deserve to just be, right? I don't have to do to get my deservingness. And that not only gives us more self-confidence, but also it makes us more attractive or magnetic to other people as well. So everyone fucking wins when we give ourselves that permission. And so, guys, I don't know why I'm accent switching today, but it's a little fun. It's a little cheeky. And so all of that's to say, um, when you look at your own life, where are you withholding permission? Where are you saying, I should be doing this, or I should be doing that? And if you can't be sure where you need permission, look as far as the shoulds. Anywhere in your life where you're like, I should be doing blank, or I shouldn't be doing blank, right? That's what's creating resistance and expectation around self. And that's where the permission blockage begins. That's the first place you can start to look at, or chip away at rather. And so the first step is to notice where you're doing it, right? And I like to say, step one, do a should audit. Where are you shoulding all over yourself? I should be doing it this way. I should be doing this. I should be doing this. And you want to get out all the shoulds, but also all the ways you're being a little bitch to yourself. How are you being super mean to yourself? Write those out. Like, I fear if I don't do this, then I'll be a lazy little whatever, and get all of those out and then read that list and sit with that for a second. Like, wow, I'm so mean to myself sometimes. But then the Jedi mind trick is to not be mean to the part of you that's mean to because then we can be like, wait, I'm so mean to myself. Then I'm so mad at that part of me that's mean to myself, right? Because that cancels it out. Being like, okay, they are doing what they thought was best for me because they love me. Kind of like a nosy or a persistent parent or relative where you're like, thank you for the unsolicited advice. I love you and I can handle it, right? It's like having that level of like, I love you, but I'm not going to let this affect me. But like, thank you. Your complaint has been heard. And then on the other side of I should, what is I like get to, right? Instead of I should be doing it this way, I get to decide, right? I get to decide if I need to process this in a different way. If it's like, for example, um, you know, I shouldn't for what happened to me last week with my cold and not being able to work after Summit. Like, I should be more productive. I just went on vacation. The permission, right? I give myself permission. I get to rest as long as I need to, as long as I need to feel recovered, or uh, my other example with like the nannies and help, like I should, I should be working a ton on the days that I have a nanny. I give myself permission to use that day to, restore and reflect. And it's okay if I don't have huge output on that day just because I got help that day. Right. So you guys get the gist. So make your should list first. And then I give myself permission to, or I get to. What is the thing that you're granting yourself permission? And you can even imagine after each, like, boop, tapping yourself on your shoulder like a fairy godmother being like, boop, permission granted, boop, you got this. And just as we don't want, I think about this a lot, like I don't want my son to feel that pressure from me for whatever he wants to do. Like I want him to feel full permission to like process the world how he needs to process it. And when we do that, we actually create a clear channel in the present moment because we're not remorseful about the past or anxious about the future because we're not trying to control it. We're giving ourselves permission to feel it fully. And then we become even more in touch with our intuition. And then we become even more a channel, a vessel for like great ideas to move through us, for example. Okay, so once you make your list, then another added touch, a bonus, if you will, is writing a letter to self. I'm sorry that I was so hard on you. I'm sorry that I made all of these assumptions or put all these, negative or really hard beliefs on you. I hope that you can forgive me. It was coming from a place of wanting the best for you, but now I see how it put a lot of pressure on you. And I want you to know moving forward, like I give us full permission, no judgment to do these things. And if I find myself judging, like I'll try to stop myself. And I want you to feel like fully, safe or full permission for full allowance to move through it how you want to move through it. Okay, so when you do all of those things, guys, then I want you to hold yourself accountable. Tell me what you are giving yourself permission for. And, it can be like this fun little fairy godmother game you play with yourself, like permission granted, boop, permission granted. And as we do that, we allow ourselves to bring all parts of ourselves to the table. And again, a fully expressed you is a fully magnetic you. And when you're in alignment and in full expression, you end up attracting like the best business opportunities or partners or the best potential romantic partner or, a magnetic like connection to creating community or whatever it might be, because those people see you being fully yourself, giving full permission, full sides of yourself, a seat at the table, which then makes them feel more safe and at ease around you because you're not trying to control or be perceived in a certain way. Okay, so with that, let's go into a little meditation. Get a comfortable seat. Take a deep breath in and then flutter your lips, relaxing your jaw. One more time like this, breathing in and exhale, flutter. And then slowly coming to a nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as you breathe in and out, coming to this thing that you're being hard on yourself for. Breathing into it, noticing where you feel it in your body. Is it your chest, your heart, your throat? And then breathing into that tightness, like you're breathing golden light. And as you feel it start to soften, starting to ask it, what do you fear will happen if you ease up this harsh voice or if you ease up the shoulds? Just letting that part of you answer. It's okay if you don't agree with it. But what does it fear will happen? Why is it being so hard on you or drowning you with the shoulds? Just understanding its intention. And then just seeing that part of you, right? Thank you. I get it. I get that you're trying to do what you think is best for me. And what do you need to soften your grip? What do you need to trust to soften your grip? To let me take the reins? Right? You, as in that loving maternal or paternal version of you. Letting that version of yourself know that you can do that. You love them. Hugging them. And as you hug them, feel them start to soften. And as they start to soften, feeling them start to beat with your heart, feeling more spaciousness created in your heart. And as they soften, morphing, feeling them morph into your highest self, who knows that you've got you, who has unconditional love and compassion for self. And taking a moment to acknowledge that version of you who grants themselves permission to notice their aura, their energy, and just asking them now for a piece of wisdom. Maybe it's a symbol or a reminder, a wink from the universe, whenever you need to give this permission to yourself to return to this thought, this symbol, this image. Thanking them, feeling that within yourself. And almost like you feel this little fairy on your shoulder, hearing the words permission granted, and feeling this magic wand tap your shoulder, sprinkling magic permission dust all over you from the inside out, from your toes to your heart, to your belly, to your nose, to the tips of your fingers. And as you feel this permission, feeling all the shoulds melt into the earth, as the golden permission starts to expand and amplify everything, shining out and in and out again, touching your inner child, your older self, your highest self, your shadow self, starting to touch all those around you with this softening, this permission, this grace. Taking a deep breath in, feeling it fully. And as you exhale, opening your eyes, coming back into this space. And as you open your eyes and come back into this space, noticing any spaciousness that shifted. Maybe writing down what your highest self said for that permission. And then when you're ready, go ahead and almost like you're doing it in real time, tap yourself on your shoulder like you're holding your own one. Permission granted. And so it is, and it is done. And as you do this, the key is to be kind to yourself. When you notice a harsh voice or should, or I'm not doing it right or whatever coming in, be like, permission granted to do it exactly as it needs to be done. So as a reminder, you start off by shedding the shoulds. I get to instead, or I give myself permission to instead, writing that letter to self of forgiveness, of renewed vows of permission, and then actually doing the thing. Like if you said, I give myself permission to cry, then cry. I give myself permission to rest, then rest, right? I give myself permission to just enjoy this thing and not do XYZ, then like give yourself permission to do that. And let me know how it comes up for you and what comes up for you. And I am wishing you the most permission-filled week ahead. I know it is a constant journey to give myself that permission as well. But when I do, I notice myself opening. I notice magical things starting to have permission to enter. And I wish the same for you. And I will see you next week for more powerful stuff. Hey, you. Thank you for coming on this powerful journey with me. I hope it was as powerful for you as it was for me. And if it was, it would mean the world to me if you rate, review, and subscribe to Powerful Stuff so I can keep bringing you the goods. We can keep going on this transformative journey together. And if there's powerful stuff that you want to share with me, with the Powerful Stuff community, tag us on Instagram at That's Powerful Stuff or The Meredith Baker. And I look forward to seeing you next week for more powerful stuff.